Hello everybody, welcome back to an edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. I'm your host, Leandro Armada, and in this video what we're going to see is how we can write into a EEPROM variable from a function block that we have created. Okay, so let's go to the software. So I want to start a new project from scratch. So if I know wrong, it's going to be M10.3. Going to select this is going to be the function block EEPROM, and I'm going to select this one. Good. So the first thing that I'm going to do right now is to create an EEPROM variable. So EEPROM variable, just this one like counter. Okay, I'm going to use this type. Now, it's important that we understand how to use pointers. If I know, I have already made a video about pointers, so it's good to take a look on that video in case you have further questions. So I'm going to create a function block, a new function block. Right click, add new function block. I'm going to use this one. Okay, so it's going to be everything function block start with FB. Set counter. Now what I'm going to do is to create like I don't know, an input like count. Then I'm going to create a variable that will retain this value counter, but this one's going to be input pointer counter integer. Now what I need to do is to write into an EEPROM. In order to write into an EEPROM, what I need to do is to use in the code target blocks, these function blocks, write par something. In my case I need the write par integer. Okay, so for this one what we need is a new value and an address. The address must be the address for the EEPROM variable. So in order to get that, I need to use outside the ADR. Okay, so here what I can do is to use this, because it's going to be the pointer of that variable. I will need a pointer. Okay, so now here I can directly use this address. That would be the idea. Now if I want, for example, to know inside the call which is the actual value, what I need to do is to create an output actual counter int, and if I want, for example, new value for the counter, new value gonna be integer. So I'm going to define this one as an input, this one input, and this one output. Okay. So now I wanted to make it faster, but it's not going to do. So the new value is going to be this input I had added, new value. Okay, I'm going to delete this one, probably add enable. So when this one is enabled, I will do anything. Okay, and this one is enabled, it will trigger the new value, because if I want to spend more time trying to make the counter plus add one, and I don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm a little bit lazy. So now if this one is enabled, it will do the trick for me. Okay, that is what I wanted to show you. Okay, but now I just want to trigger this, want to change the value, so I'm going to add a trigger. Oh, I deleted the variable, my bad. enable input. I'm going to change the pin number. Okay, and then here I'm going to add a trigger. Space. Okay. And now, every time I select this one, it will trigger and will override the value that I have on the EEPROM. Okay, this is what we need to do. But this doesn't end here because new program, going to create a program, counter. It's going to be called in the time. Good. Now, if I drag and drop this instance counter or whatever else, I'm going to show you this. So we're going to create enable. Let's enable. I'm going to put this here. The new value is going to be a new variable. A new value integer. I'm going to put it here. New value. Actual value. Actual value integer. There we go. Now we have this variable here. I need to say this so I can see the EEPROM variable here. This is the counter value, which is going to be the EEPROM. If I do this over here, it's not going to work. What I need to do is to use the ADR function, which is a miscellaneous ADR. So I can share the address directly with this. Okay, and then I can use it over here. Now, if you want to use this value, because this is going to be like the direction, the address, the position where it's located in the PLC, all we need to do is to do the following. So I'm going to add new after. What I can do is to add this value over here and then move it to actual value. Okay, in the past we had to add input and output here. We just need to right click, switch direction in the newer version 1.7. This will be brilliant, but this will not work because this value is the address. It has a long number. So what I need to do is to click over here, symbol selection, and then add the at. That will go into this position and read the value to move it out. So now if we go back to our program and simulate this, no errors, which is good. Download the program and hopefully it will work. Okay, so counter here, we cannot assign a new value, okay, because it's an EEPROM. I can add, for example, new value number 10, and when I execute this, it will move the value 10. Okay, 48. I just need a trigger, so I need to go to 0 and 1, and it changed the value. Okay, so this is how you can access from the function block the EEPROM variable. Okay, in this way. If you need to, for example, to save a time or save a counter, this is how you need to do it. You need to use the ADR. Okay, and then inside you just need to use as a pointer on the definition using the at. And if you need to use the value inside your code, you just need to use the at and the variable name. Okay, so this is how you can access to EEPROM variables to write them, okay, using a function block inside. Okay, it's easy. You just need to know how to do it. Okay, then it's just making the logic. So Thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.